Thank you all for being here. I will introduce you today what it takes to make AI industrial grade. What it takes to make AI in an industry setting on the shop floor and what we can do to help you to get there. When you think about AI, and you use this actually every day on your phone, for instance, right now snapping some pictures and see all the professional cameras out here, AI is everywhere in those cameras. It's doing a lot of things and it's solving one problem, for instance, and that's the autofocus on your cameras. If you have your professional camera, like a Sony camera, it has a great feature that it can focus the eye very precisely. And that's actually done with neural networks. That's a form of artificial intelligence. And this artificial intelligence, which is solving this focus problem, is specifically designed to focus the human eye. Some cameras today might also be able to focus the eye of an animal. Usually it's limited to a dog or to a cat, but it cannot do much more. And it's actually fixed to do so, and it's very much inflexible to do just that. If it comes to the industry, and if he would give you an AI that would simply be able to do one specific task, most likely most people will not be very happy with this. So one of the biggest differences that we see when it comes to artificial intelligence between the consumer market and the industry is that on the industry we have very high demand on flexibility, and of course we expect all the things about reliability and the quality of service that we get from anything else on the shop floor be applied in the same way to AI. So we also want to make sure that artificial intelligence is as reliable as anything else. So let's just see how that looks like when it comes to AI. There's a lot of concerns around AI with respect to data privacy, the speeds that we can actually turn around a solution, the flexibility I already said, and the cost and the risk associated to that. And by addressing all of that, we can make AI industrial grade. And I want to now show you what it takes to do just that. When people start building their AI applications, they usually start with a POC, with a proof of concept. People start building and planning their AI, and usually they come along and run into a lot of problems. And actually, we at Siemens, we ran into a lot of problem solving AI in the past years, trust me. So we really built a lot of things that actually failed along the way. And we learned a great deal what it actually takes to be successful with AI along this very long journey to go to industrial grade AI in solving all of those problems. And actually, many of those design decisions that you make to make AI industrial grade at the very beginning affect you very much on how you actually can be successful when it comes to the very end, and that is actually keeping AI operational on your shop floor. When many of you start with AI today, they are very fast and very successful in having the first steps done. So people start building a machine learning model and having some machine learning code somewhere. They can run this very quickly in a lab or in a demo setup or in a test machine. That's very easy, very fast to do. You can do a hackathon and have something like this running with the technologies available today in less than half a day usually. However, when it comes to take this to your quality assurance guys and you want to take it down to the factory and actually get something from your Six Sigma guys to say about what you do there, there's many other questions you actually need to answer in order to get AI up and running and operational. So things like getting your data properly configured, getting your application actually approved by all the different parties in IT and OT is a great deal of effort, and that needs to be solved in addition to you solving your AI problem. But there's actually more to that. When it comes to running AI on the shop floor, not only need to solve all of those problems, but you also need to ensure that connectivity and the distributed system that you usually have is actually up to the industrial grade standards that you need to adhere to. And when we do AI in this context, we also need to ensure that our AI models are validated appropriately and potentially even need certification to meet the standards we have in our industry. So how do we at Siemens solve and support you in doing just that? That is getting AI industrial grade. Many of you already do AI, and many of you already started a journey of building AI models with tooling that you're familiar with, that you have already. You have started to collect data, use the cloud to do that potentially, or you did it on-premise. All of that is your starting point. And that's very different actually from one business to the other, from one domain to the other. We support all of you with our industrial AI AI software development kit with our SDK that we have for building AI software. It's compatible with whatever you build your AI software with. You can run this on-prem or you can run it in the cloud. And it does not restrict you how you build your AI model or what AI models you actually build. We support all the latest standards that you have with respect to neural networks and deep learning. And you can build your AI models. All we do is we take care that at the end of this journey, your AI model is standardized when it comes to deployment. And that will become very, very important down the road, as you see in a second. When we have built our AI model using our AI SDK, it's time to deploy this AI model to the shop floor. And here, it's very important that this AI model is absolutely optimized to whatever environment you're going to. So by using our AI SDK, you don't need to worry about optimizing your AI model for the hardware that you want to deploy to. It's actually taken care for you already. If you want to deploy multiple AI models to a factory, and we have some examples, there's actually hundreds or thousands of models that you would like to deploy, again, we have you covered. With our AI model manager, you can actually manage large model installations that you might have in multiple locations at the same time without the need of any need to know about the AI model and without any coding for that. You can configure all of this very neat in the AI model manager and take care of your model distribution. And this is actually achieved now by not just having built your AI model in some Docker container, anything that is not standardized, but having something that actually can be up to the task of industrial-grade AI, and in this case, industrial-grade AI model deployment. So now that we have deployed our AI model, it's time to be able to do that most important thing, and that is actually run your AI model. So when it comes to executing your AI model on the shop floor, we want to leverage all the hardware that we have. And again, since we have built the AI model with the SDK and have it deployed here, it's already optimized for our hardware that we deploy to now. So we can, in this case, use the AI inference server to run it on Siemens Industrial Edge and get the experience that we want. And that is, we don't need to know how this AI model was actually built in this case. It can be done by people that know the automation domain. You don't need to be a data scientist to do that. There is no code required to do that. There's no glue code for you to write. You can tap into all the features that we get from Industrial Edge with respect to connectivity, configure your connectivity to your needs, and actually have your installation the way that you want, industrial grade, again, reliable and robust without anything for you to do on the coding side. And that's, again, a very big difference when it comes to deploying AI models compared to any other solution that we usually would see in this case, especially when you start from a POC where there's a lot of code and configurations to be done manually. And again, just think about having large installations that need to be commissioned and recommissioned. You really want to make sure that this kind of work here, even around an AI model, can be done by anybody without worrying about the AI model, without worrying about coding, and without having all the skill sets that you usually find with a data scientist that you don't have in your factory every day. And this becomes extremely important when it comes to running AI model, not only during the weekday on a Monday morning at 11 o'clock, or as we have it today right now on a Tuesday, but also on a weekend or a Christmas Eve. And with this, we actually not only do AI operations and have all the software that I just shared with you, but we actually also offer AI operation services to ensure your AI model is actually up to the task also after deployment. So with all the software that I just showed you with the SDK, the model deployment capabilities, the AI inference server for Industrial Edge, we also offer AI monitoring and AI operational services alongside. So why is this important? Depending on what you need to do with your AI model, you need to ensure that the commissioning and the recommission of that model fulfills your standards and your expectations and your SLAs that you have on that AI model. That means if you have any sort of reconfiguration of that model and the task on this reconfiguration might also need an adjustment on that AI model, you have a degradation on the system, or you have any sort of other problem, you want to be able to have support on that AI model in the same fashion as you might have for anything else. So at Siemens, for instance, we work with our factory IT to seamlessly also support AI models that are deployed in the same fashion as anything else has its support. And with this, we can give SLAs and guarantees for the operations, and the operation on an AI model has the same properties and the same quality as anything else there. So there's no difference when it comes to AI. And this is achieved with our AI operations service, which of course can also help you to walk you through the entire steps that I just presented. And we actually also do just that with our own factories, where we also help to set up AI models where it's needed. In some regions where there's not enough skill to do so, we can actually also help to do just that, set up the AI for people and set up the AI model to do just what it's supposed to do on their day-to-day operations. And in order to put all of this together, we also brought a very big demonstrator over there. So we brought a Just-Tech robot, Just-Tech machine that looks like all the other demonstrator here, except AI is inside. Again, as I said, there's nothing different. So you only will find Siemens standard product components in this machine. It's first and foremost built around industrial edge. We're using a standard Siemens IPC to run our AI model. On this industrial edge, we have our standard AI inference server application. This application, as I said before, would not require any glue code. It's completely standardized. In order to use the AI model output, you would not need to write any code. You can use that model and put that into your standard data configuration and use this for any automation task that you would like to do around your machine. That's a very big difference compared to other means of deployment of AI models there. What is also important here is that, of course, this gives you the flexibility to do whatever application you would like to build on top and around that right now. So in this case, we actually have solved a problem that you will find in many cases when you have discrete manufacturing, that you have some sort of ambiguity where you would have human interactions. And in this case, we can use a robotic application together with AI to actually solve a problem that would otherwise always require human intervention in an application. And this is a very specific application. It's very specific to this Just-Tech machine, and I'm not sure if you find the very same application anywhere on SPS that would solve such a specific problem. And that comes back to what I said at the very beginning. Every AI application is different. Everything that you would like to solve with AI is very specific to your need, and the software and the services that we offer need to be up to the task that you have and not some standardized procedures that you usually would find when it comes to AI in the commodity application. So with all of this, I would like to invite you to come to our booth, check out what we actually have there, learn more about all of our products and what we actually can solve. And also, just as a teaser, we of course also use AI in many applications. A colleague of mine will later give a presentation where there will be a lot of pitches on where we actually already successfully applied AI right now. You can talk to our colleagues too, they will also tell you some of that. And with this, thank you so much for having me and have a great time on SPS.